Bangalore or Chennai. In fact, why I was opposed to the idea of having Amaravati as a capital. There is nothing against it. In fact, I am one person who advocates the view that Amaravati should also have a legislative capital. And in fact, I am also one person who advocates the view that Kurnool should also have a judicial capital. Nothing against it. But then, the fact of the matter is, Amaravati is on a virgin land. 50,000 acres of barren land. Nothing there. And according to them, just to provide for the basic infrastructure, that is these roads, the water, electricity, and these kind of basic infrastructure alone, according to their own calculations, with the DPR that they have produced, costs almost 2 crores per acre, which is on a 50,000 acres of barren land. If one were to just lay these basic infrastructure requirements put in place, we're talking about 1 lakh investments, 1 lakh crores of money, which would have to be put in before any buildings could come up or before we could talk about anything else other than the basic roads or the basic electricity or the basic water or the basic stuff. Now per se, does anybody have 1 lakh crores to be pumped in? And if this 1 lakh crores were to be pumped in today, it's going to cost 1 lakh crores. But if this 1 lakh crores would be pumped in maybe in 20 years' time, presuming 5,000 crores of outlay every year, approximately, what one could actually probably afford. So there's nothing there. Then you're talking about 20 years. Then in 20 years' time, 1 lakh crore probably would become 7-8 lakhs or 10 lakh crores. The expenditure what you thought about as 1 lakh crores today, in 20 years would actually be 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs. Probably the net present value calculations of probably 1 lakh crores 20 years down the line would probably be one were to calculate 1 lakh crores today, 20 years down, it would be 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakh crores. And which is going to be a dream chasing. You would never be anywhere. That is the reason why I say I'm nothing against it. It's only something that we can't do it. Whereas here in Visakha, we have a place which already has this basic infrastructure put in place. We already have roads. We already have good roads. We already have electricity, good electricity. We have good water connections. We have good everything. Basic infrastructure is already put in place. So all what we need to do is, given that finishing touches, just give it a little bit of finishing touches, and it would transform into something much, much, much bigger. And what are those finishing touches that we need to give? An iconic secretariat. The moment we shift here and christen it as executive capital, you obviously would have the entire employees also come and station here, for which a secretariat building. Why construct an ordinary secretariat building? Construct something iconic, which would stand out, which would attract the entire country to see. Iconic secretariat, an iconic convention center. People talk about one of Geo Convention Center. The latest, the biggest, the best. These are the names that they give. We have something like that. Not much of a cost. Why can't we have one here so that the entire world, entire country looks up? Iconic stadium. There's one in Ahmedabad. Investment is probably 800 crores, 1,000 crores. Not much of an investment. But the entire country talks about it. Entire country talks about that stadium. And whensoever a match is played between the countries, that stadium is glorified. It is spoken about by the entire country. Entire world sees that stadium. All these that I speak about are iconic. All these, if they were to be commissioned, would actually pitch Vizag on the global scale. Would draw eyeballs not only of the country, but the whole world to actually look at Vizag. What we have envisioned for Vizag, iconic secretariat, iconic convention center, iconic stadium, Institute of Emerging Technologies. One beautiful institute wherein the talent for any emerging technologies is tutored here. If our students could be given that kind of skills, tutored here, this would be positioned as something else. We have the Bhogapuram International Airport coming up. At a very brisk pace, the work is happening. And within the next 15 months or 18 months, this project would actually see the light of the day. It's moving at a very brisk pace. Then connectivity to the Bhogapuram International Airport. A 6-lane beach corridor road with beautiful green lawns on either side of the roads. 6-lane road to Bhogapuram International Airport. They're talking about a metro rail. Our Vizag is probably the only metro, I guess, which does not have a metro rail. So getting funds for metro rail per se, I don't think it's that difficult. Because it might cost another 14,000 crores. But 60% of the funding comes in PPP model by the developer. Another 40% is to be shared by central and the state government. Central shares 20%, state shares 20% of the 14,000 crore investment. Of course, we are pushing for the entire 40% to be borne by the central government. That's a different story. But even if that doesn't happen, we're still talking about 20% contribution from the state government. And then you could actually see a 14,000 crore metro rail project also take off. Then we're building a Molapet port in Srikakulam. Within the next 1 year, the Molapet port would actually start functioning. And we have Vizag, Bhogapuram International Airport, which is 30 kilometers from the airport. And then from there, the Molapet port is just another 110 kilometers or so. So you have entire corridor from Vizag International Airport and then Molapet port. A horizontal growth corridor which could take off, which already has an existing national highway, I think 6-lane or 8-lane highway. It's already, the works are at a brisk pace. Then you have a data center with a submarine cable which is coming from Singapore. a data center, Adani is doing it. A huge investment, 27,000 crores of investment is coming there. And since it's a private investment, and Adani is doing it, the works of the land from our side, everything that needs to be done is already done. They've already started the work, the plans are submitted. And within the next 5-6 years, in a staggered way, in a phased manner, they would actually ensure that this project also comes up. Then you have hospitality industry, which also needs to be looked into, which also needs to be given a little bit of boost, for which we have ensured that Oberoi and Mayfair groups have given certain bits of land for them to develop 5-star plus resorts here as well in Vizag, where Vizag is short and it doesn't have resorts. It has some good hotels, but it doesn't have resorts. So this 5-star plus category resorts by Oberoi or Mayfair would actually bridge in that gap. The land has already been given to these private people and they're already on the verge of starting the construction, and within the next 2 years or so you would actually start them, you would actually see them commissioned. Then NTPC Green Hydrogen Project. This is also around about 30,000 crore investment of NTPC. This project, fortunately yesterday Prime Minister virtually laid the foundation stone. So this is also going to be a reality. So all these that I just spoke about, they are not things that cannot be achieved. All these things can be realizable. Within the next 10 years, in a staggered manner, we would see all these things coming up. Because all these things that I spoke about are not big. Something which is unimaginable. No, not so. All these things are realizable because they're not something, they do not pose those numbers which would actually say they are not realizable. And there is of course one aspiration what I'm trying to negotiate with the Prime Minister also. This thing goes well, we would have this as well. A high-speed rail corridor from Hyderabad to Vizag, passing through Vijayawada. And then Vijayawada to Bangalore, passing through Kurnool and Kadapa. But this is an aspiration. If it happens, it happens. Even if it doesn't happen, 10 years is a big enough span for us to pursue that it happens. Even though this is an aspiration currently with us, the rest of the stuff that I spoke about are all realizable. So with all these things coming up in Vizag, and the Chief Minister coming and stationed in Vizag, it would attract a lot of people to come and settle down in Vizag as well. And Vizag in 10 years' time, with all these iconic buildings taking shape, would actually compete with the best in the world, with the best in India, definitely for sure. In fact, my people have gone ahead and given a presentation to this effect. We can all watch, myself included. I'll also be sitting with you on the other side. Let's share the officials also for actually putting in this kind of energy and effort, because it takes a lot of passion to actually be involved. What needs to be done for Vizag, how do we do it, and it takes a lot of passion. And, in fact, when I was asked to come here, I said fine, because looking at their passion, I wanted to encourage them as well. And I also wanted to give a kind of confidence to the people of Visakha in particular that yes, Visakha, in spite of all the difficulties and hurdles that were posed, we will prevail, we will survive, and we will bounce back is what the final message would be. Thank you all for this patient hearing. I hope that we all share this dream and it will be realized at the earliest. Because I can't repeat the whole thing in Telugu. I tried, but then I thought again I'll deviate. Maybe some other occasion in Telugu. Maybe some other occasion in Telugu I would do so. Distinguished industry leaders, colleagues in the state cabinet, and esteemed guests. I think koncham Telugu, koncham English, I think I'll go together. Because target audience is just not some of the people present here. But I'd like to take this message all across the state of Andhra Pradesh. So a little bit of a mix and balance between English and Telugu.
Lakshmi Ma'am, Special Chief Secretary, Department of Municipal Administration and Urban Development, Government of Andhra Pradesh, to please come on to the dais and make the big announcement of the day and launch the AV.
I thank the Honorable CM for his brilliant address on his vision for the development of Andhra Pradesh and Visakhapattnam. As part of the development roadmap of the state, we now present the development plan for the next 5 years for Visakhapattnam and its hinterland in the form of a magnificent film titled Vision Visakha. The film encapsulates the plans for the development of Visakhapattnam by the government by partnering with the private sector, by facilitating the private sector to grow, and also by taking up various schemes by the government. Honorable Chief Minister and august members of the audience, I now present to you Vision Visakha.
There are very few cities that have emerged as the business and financial nerve centers of the world. New York, London, Frankfurt, Dubai, Hong Kong and Singapore have established themselves as prominent global centers for commerce and finance. In India, Mumbai on the west coast has emerged as a major business and financial center. However, its rise has now been constrained by overpopulation, lack of ease in doing business, infra-congestion and limitations in real estate. Located on the east coast of Andhra Pradesh, Visakhapattnam now holds the potential to compete with some of the best cities in the world in development, innovation and natural scenic wonders. Rightly assessing the potential of Visakhapattnam to become a global cosmopolitan city and the enormous opportunities for it, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Shri Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy has conceived the outstanding Vision Visakha. Vision Visakha aims to support Visakhapattnam as a home for high-class infrastructure, commercial activity, positive environment, sustainability and natural scenic beauty to go on to become a leading financial, fintech and artificial intelligence hub in the country and in the world. Spanning the next 5 years, this magnificent plan for Visakha has been chalked out with an approximate budget of 1,05,000 crores. The vision recognizes that the future of Visakhapattnam is predominantly linked to major sectors such as industry, port, trade, tourism, health, knowledge, circular and resilient economy, and an aerotropolis. Infrastructure will be developed in 5 categories: connectivity, industrial landscape, urban planning and city infrastructure, livability and social infrastructure, sustainability and climate resilience. The allocated percentages for these have been clearly mentioned in the vision. These investments are estimated to create more than 10 lakh jobs and employment opportunities in Visakhapattnam during this period. Connectivity infrastructure projects in relation to national highways include 12 flyovers, 6-lane beach corridor, 6-lane road from Sabavaram to Sheelanagar, and road construction projects from Sheelanagar to Visakhapattnam port. A total of 8,980 crores have been proposed for the same. With respect to the road network, a total of 12 projects including new roads, widening of roads, footpaths, facilities at junctions, pedestrian requirements, alternative route to Simhachalam, rail overbridge, bus shelters and more have been proposed with an investment of 1,906 crores. Freight corridors and railway zone includes new South Coast Railway Zone and freight corridor from Sondyam to Simhachalam that will be undertaken at a cost of 196 crores. 14,309 crore rupees have been dedicated for the Visakhapattnam Metro Rail project. To secure a solid connection between Visakhapattnam and the world, Shri Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy has laid the foundation stone for Bhogapuram Airport with a budget of 4,727 crores. A total of 33,080 crores have been allocated for over 30 projects in Vizag region, including 20,225 crores for the establishment of NTPC Hydrogen Park. To develop Visakhapattnam as an IT hub, an integrated data center park, IT, ITES and Infosys Development Center have been proposed at Visakhapattnam Tech Park with a budget of 25,025 crores. Through these, the Honorable Chief Minister hopes to provide direct and indirect employment to around 5 lakh people. Foreseeing the need for uninterrupted power supply to attract investments, Shri Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy allocated 3,166 crores for various electricity projects in Visakha Vision. In relation to urban planning and infrastructure of the city, investments of 975 crores are dedicated for fresh water supply projects. 1,550 crores have been proposed for an underground drainage project and 153 crores are allocated for the development of stormwater drains in the city. As far as livability and social infrastructure is concerned, 100 parks will be taken up with 50 crores for the recreation and health of the citizens. 150 lakes will be developed in a phased manner in the city with a sum of 250 crores. Regarding sports facilities, 7 stadiums will be developed with a budget of 169 crores. Along with demonstrating his commitment towards encouraging sports through the one-of-a-kind statewide Adudam Andhra program, Shri Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy has proposed an international cricket stadium with a whopping budget of 300 crores in this Visakha Vision in order to place Visakhapattnam on the sports map of the world. DMRDA projects include a natural history park, museum and research institute with 108 crores, a convention center with 220 crores, an urban entertainment zone with 40 crores and Siripuram multi-level car park with 87 crores. About 150,000 houses worth 4,039 crores are being constructed through Jagananna colonies and Tidco houses for the construction of affordable houses for the common citizens. Visakhapattnam has unlimited opportunities in the tourism sector. With more than 30 beaches to attract tourists, there is no area better than Visakhapattnam for tourist development. Vishakhapatnam owns tourist attractions that are proposed to be developed with around 1,500 crores. Apart from that, major star hotels like Oberoi, Mayfair will also be facilitated to attract global tourists to the city. Shri Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy also proposed the establishment of a global convention center worth 500 crores and several malls such as Innovet Mall worth 750 crores. Under the infrastructure for Eco Vizag, clean energy, 178.22 crores have been proposed for the development of Nagar Vanalu, Mudassarlova and Meghabrigadda floating solar plants, 2 and 3-wheeler electric transport projects. Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy's impeccable foresight resulted in a magnificent mission to develop Vishakhapatnam into a global city with spellbinding amenities. A successful realization of this vision is destined to make this city of destiny a remarkable cosmopolitan center in no time.
That was a comprehensive roadmap presented to you, taking into consideration connectivity, livability, social infrastructure, urban planning, industrial growth, sustainability and climate resilience. The Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Shri Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy Garu, is well on his way to achieving Vision Visakha and many other such projects for other cities of the state as well. He has already unveiled projects worth more than 1,500 crores, as you saw in the audiovisual presentation. To serve as an illustrious reminder of this bold and ambitious Vision Visakha, the government of Andhra Pradesh has curated a coffee table book. To release this coffee table book, I request the Honorable CM, Shri Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy Garu, and respected ministers and other dignitaries to please come onto the dais to release the book. A huge round of applause for Vision Visakha and the coffee table book that serves as a powerful reminder of a powerful vision for the state of Andhra Pradesh. Under the able leadership of the Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy Garu. To give us a huge round of applause for this ambitious vision, Visakha. sir, for inducing this audience with your confidence, your passion for your vision, Visakha. That's going to be the iconic secretariat. The iconic secretariat that will lure the eyes not only of the entire country but also of the entire world, as shared in Vision Visakha by the very driven, young, dynamic leader of Andhra Pradesh, the Honorable Chief Minister Shri Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy Garu. I would also like to thank Shri Budimuttiala Naidu Garu, Deputy Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Shri Gudivada Amarnath Garu,